What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast, episode number 86. I'm Jeff James. With me, as always, is the incredible, unobtainable, luscious Brody Fault. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I got a little bit of a headache, so that kind of sucks.
I can hear it a little bit.
Can you? It's actually so it's the weird. It's the weirdest thing. Half my fucking face hurts. And my nose is plugged. It probably sounds a little nasally.
Yeah.
The left side of my nose. Only the left nostril.
That's bizarre. I think it's allergy related?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I took my allergy pill, but I forgot my allergy pill 2 days in a row. And then I finally took it yesterday. And then I took it again today. I don't know how allergy pills work. I'm not a doctor. If we have a doctor listening to this show, I don't know why you listen to us, but if you can tweet it would be great. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube channel name is Diggity, Diggity, or search Diggity Gaming and find our little green logo. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts. It's no longer called iTunes anymore.
Yeah, I saw that.
Isn't that weird?
I don't even have Apple products, and I still saw that.
Well, they got rid of iTunes because, it was an amalgamation, a clusterfuck, if you will, of just a million things in one.
Yeah.
And everyone just wants one app for one thing nowadays. But anyways, we'll be on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to your podcast. We are there. So tell your friends. Also, hit the little subscribe or follow button on the audio version of the podcast so you're notified when a new episode goes up each and every single time. And moving forward, we'll get into Diggity Deals. Hit us, Brody. Pass the savings on to us.
Ooh. You haven't said that for a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a couple.
It has. So for Nintendo Switch, you can get the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, which just came out not too terribly long ago, for $20.99 on the US eShop. On Xbox, you can get the Lego Marvel Collection for $19.99 from GameStop. And on PlayStation 4, you can get The Division 2 for $19.99, also from GameStop. And those deals are interchangeable between consoles because GameStop is just having sales for everything. I don't actually know that, but I do know that those are on either console.
That's hilarious. All right, right into the news. Minecraft Earth closed beta. So we got more news on this. A video was released today showing more of Minecraft Earth and what to expect from it. With the video release, the devs also announced the upcoming closed beta. And the closed beta will launch for iOS first sometime in the next 2 weeks and Android sometime soon after. To sign up for the beta, go to earth.minecraft.net/en-us/sign-u-up. Good God. Okay, you know what? Nobody in their right fucking mind would have been able to follow the instructions. We're just going to restart that. earth.minecraft.net/en-us/sign-up. You have to be 18 to sign up. As usual, not everyone can participate, and your progress will not carry into the full game. You receive an email if you are selected to participate and are required to play once every 7 days, or you forfeit your spot in the beta. So, do you think this is going to be huge?
No.
Wow. I was thinking maybe at least, but wow.
I think it'll do well. I don't think it's going to even touch Pokemon Go.
Right.
But right. I think it'll do okay. I mean, I guess there's not a whole lot in that genre to kind of compare it to. So, I mean, if it's going to be huge is kind of, I don't know. It's hard to really compare it to anything other than Pokemon Go. And it won't be able to touch that. But I think it'll do good. I think it'll do very good even. I'll even go that far. I think it will do very well. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be short-lived. In all honesty,
I agree. I think it's gonna be real hot at the start, and then it's gonna die off real quick. And my assumption on that is because I think you have to be so much more involved in this one versus Pokemon Go. I mean, Pokemon Go, you just fucking walk, and then came across Pikachu. Cool. and you catch it. It's not. This one is more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is more like you're walking around. Oh my gosh! Look, the Earth just opened up to reveal some fucking thing, and there's like a tower here, and then like someone built something here, and there's it just seems like there's a lot more to do in it, which is great. But I feel like people are going to be like,
Yeah, I think it's going to be something that people are going to get into and realize it's a lot more like actually playing Minecraft than it is, the very dumbed down version of Pokemon where you're just walking around catching things. I think, like you said, there's almost too much, and I think it's going to be to the point where it wears people out, and there's not enough time in the day to play games as much as most people would like anyway, let alone walk around and play Minecraft Earth. And on top of that, how many giant Minecraft penises do you think there will be on day one?
Oh my lord. The Earth will be plagued in cocks.
Oh, absolutely. It does kind of open up a tricky kind of door there by you can make things, and people like to make penises, and those will be everywhere in a game that
Fun fact.
In a game that you have to be 18 to sign up for the beta, but damn well there's going to be plenty of kids under the age of 18 that will be playing this game, and probably some very small children as well. I think it's just
Diggity fun fact number 12. People like to make penises in games.
Put it on a shirt. Let's go.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think it'll just fizzle out fairly quick, unfortunately. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but it's not something I'm going to get into.
Yeah,
I'll try it, but I mean, just for the sake of the podcast, but it's not something I can devote the kind of time that it would require to do anything worth a damn in.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you have anything else? No,
I'm good. I'm good for the next news story, dude.
Sorry.
Awkward.
I felt like I cut you off earlier, so I was going to let you
don't
go.
worry
But
about
anyway, Marvel's Avengers gameplay premiere. Good God. The premiere is set to be shown off during its SDCC panel on July 18th at 1:30 Pacific time or 4:30 Eastern time.
San Diego Comic-Con.
The panel will feature Crystal Dynamics creative director Sean Escape. That's a weird last name. I'm sorry. And the performance cast of Marvel's Avengers. There will be no live stream, and it is unclear whether Square Enix plans to release the video online after the panel, but it will 100% leak.
Yes.
And we will see it, and we will talk about it. Are you excited for this game still?
The Avengers game?
Yeah, after the E3 reveal and everything.
Sure.
There was a whole lot of negativity online circling around this game after it was shown off.
Well, there's a whole lot of negativity surrounding everything in this world nowadays.
Well, that is very true.
We just before we were recording this podcast saw that for some reason, I mean, people's priorities are fucked, right? There's a hashtag Area 51 is trending because there's a Facebook group that's going to raid Area 51 on September 20th. I'm still looking forward to it. I was a little upset. The only thing I'm a little upset with is the way that some of the characters look. Just their faces mainly. They look like they're out of an Old Navy commercial.
Yeah, they look absolutely dead inside and kind of almost a little bootleggy. And I didn't expect them to look like the movie versions by any means, because that would be unrealistic and just something that's not going to happen. But
like Captain America looks like he would be on a billboard for Sears.
Yeah, I've read a lot of Marvel comics, and they appear differently and they look differently in each, depending on the artist, but these just don't quite look right.
These look like the superheroes that show up to a kid's birthday party.
Yeah. Just the very generic looking Captain America over there.
Yeah.
I want this game to be awesome, obviously. I'm a huge Marvel fan, as we've discussed many times. But I have this nagging feeling it is not going to be great. And I'm a little scared to see this gameplay. I'm excited to see this gameplay, but I'm also, I'm not overhyped for this by any means, just because I don't want to get my hopes up and then just be let down.
Isn't it crazy how quickly it went from like E3? We're like, oh my God, yes, 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 yes. And then we looked more into it and we're like, oh, okay. And then now most of the internet, like you said, is kind of like,
Well, and I think a big thing is this whole E3, there was so many things shown that didn't have any gameplay. And it was just this weird, awkward kind of point. And I feel like Marvel's Avengers would have definitely stood out. I mean, aside from being a Marvel IP, it would have stood out to show off some gameplay, especially in a game where we don't know anything about it, really. I mean, we know they want to make it a service and things like that, but we don't even know what the fucking game plays like. I mean, just a very brief, like, hey,
you don't
it's
need to
for play.
know. You don't need to know what the game plays like.
Let's be fair. Not all Marvel games are made
No,
equal.
most Marvel games are made horribly.
Yes. It wasn't until fairly recent that we started to get some pretty good ones, but there was a lot of very bad ones back in the day.
Oh my God, yes.
It's just I want this game to be good, and I'm
You're
excited to see
preparing
this
yourself for
gameplay. But I
disappointment.
am,
I
yes,
can tell.
100% prepared for disappointments.
Like, I mean, you are really preparing yourself to be disappointed. But hey,
Yeah,
if you set it low in your mind, they may exceed it.
yeah. I would hope it could only go up from here, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, hey, some interesting news. Amazon is apparently making a Lord of the Rings MMO. It'll be a free to play game for both PC and consoles with no tie-ins to Lord of the Rings series that they're making.
Amazon's making on that. Sorry.
Yeah, my bad. Amazon Game Studios is making the game in partnership with Lite, who actually announced they were making the game last year with an unnamed partner developer. The game will take place long before the events of the movies and is supposed to show off new areas and creatures that have never appeared in the books or the film adaptations. Cool. Amazon getting heavier into video games. Let's hope it's not like the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
game.
No kidding. That was rough.
Holy shit. That was like flying a potato.
This is kind of interesting because that Liu or whatever it is,
yeah.
they actually own Digital Extreme, so Warframe and all of that, and so they have some experience in an MMO like esque type environment, but this has big shoes to fill because there was a Lord of the Rings MMO that came out in 2007, and it is still regarded as one of the better MMOs to play right now. If you look up any top MMO lists, it is usually somewhere in the top like 6, 7, somewhere in there. It's at least in the top 10 on almost every list I've ever looked at. So they have some big shoes to fill on this, and it's gonna have to be good. And like you said, not look anything like Grand Tour.
Yeah. Oh, good God. Yeah,
Grand Tour was rough. We didn't play it. We looked at it and said, I'm not playing that. It was bad. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of see what this comes to be. It has a lot of potential, has awesome IP behind it, and can really create a really engaging world. I'm interested to see what these new areas and new creatures are, considering, they're all based off of Tolkien books. So it's kind of interesting to see if they're making up new things to go into the lore of Lord of the Rings for a MMO. So that'll be something, hopefully good something, but
yeah,
something nonetheless.
I will say that Lei also is mainly, it's a holding company,
right,
that holds Digital Extremes as well as Splash Damage.
Yeah.
Yep. And they launched a publishing label in 2018 that was Athlon Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, this is where
I knew there was another one. I couldn't think of what it was, but
right. And Splash Damage and Digital Extremes are both publishers and developers. Athlon Games is just the publishing arm within Lei. But Lei is a massive holding company, right, in China that holds video games, and there's another side of the holding company that owns many other technology companies and other endeavors. So it'll be interesting. They got a lot of money behind them, so we'll have to see how they can do with this. And to team up with Amazon, that's pretty neat. I think I would assume that maybe we'll start seeing like an Amazon streaming service tease.
Oh, I'm sure it's just around the corner.
This. Yeah, definitely an exclusive.
I thought it was interesting that it's coming to no. Sorry. I think I'm mixing it up with a different. No, yeah.
No,
it's coming to console. Yeah. Sorry. Which generally MMOs are usually designed for PC and then ported to console. So the fact that it's coming to both on launch is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. Cool.
Microsoft will start removing inactive accounts after 2 years rather than 5.
Sweet.
Which is awesome. Frees up more gamer tags and things like that. Some exceptions to this. If you have ever made a purchase on your account of a current Microsoft product or service, it will not be closed regardless of inactivity. So something for the Xbox One. No, it has to be a current. So it has to be Xbox One, and then I assume there might be a little window once we move on to the new Xbox once it comes out. But yeah, it has to be a current. So it's not like you buy a Xbox OG game or something. But if you have an active subscription, if you have an active subscription and an inactive account, you're wasting money. A lot of money.
And Microsoft likes that.
And they're not going to close your account.
No.
Obviously. If you have used your Microsoft account to publish apps or games, which makes sense because there's a lot of time in development, so there could be easily 2 years in between, the next time you use your account. If you have earned a certification using your Microsoft account, if you have any balance in your account, they will not close it. If you have if you have an amount owed to you by Microsoft, for example, a Microsoft Payment Central, which I don't know what that is. So moving on. Family accounts, such as an account set up to be a parent account to a minor's account, they will not close it. And the last one is various laws that could also affect active accounts and their termination. So different laws in different areas. Man. So, there's a lot of loopholes here. I mean,
so if you're not a parent,
$3 into your account if you really wanted to hold on to it.
Yeah. So if you're not a parent, if you don't have $2 into your account, you don't have a certification, and you don't publish games, and you've left it sitting there for 2 years and 1 day, you'll get inactive.
Yes.
Unless you are in a country that has various laws that would affect that.
Right.
Wow.
That's their whole their loophole to kind of protect themselves on that, because there are a lot of areas where they have odd laws like that. But
what a time we live in. Good Lord.
It's bizarre.
Steam Labs. Steam has created Steam Labs to show different experiments to users. And these experiments are centered around machine learning, discoverability, and video. This is designed to allow users to try out the features and share feedback to the Steam team. Active experiments include micro trailers, so 6-second trailers for every Steam game. An interactive recommender, which is machine learning designed to predict games you would like based on your library, otherwise known as a algorithm. Automatic show, a daily automated half-hour show about Steam games.
The micro trailer, well, they're not overly exciting, but the micro trailers is kind of neat. It's based on a pretty popular Twitter account, so there was definitely a want for this, I suppose. But basically, the guy goes in and he cuts down like a trailer into 6 seconds, so you can sit there and watch a ton of trailers in a shorter period of time, and I guess have a very, very rough idea of what the game is. The interactive recommender is supposed to, they already have something that kind of does this, but this is supposed to be more based on playtime in games and certain other things, and it's just supposed to be way better than what they're using currently. And all of these are things that you aren't automatically signed up for. You have to go in and sign up for them, and then on top of that, they're not the final product or whatever. And then the automatic show, half-hour show about Steam games every day, seems a little much. Maybe like once a week would make more sense. But hey, we do a podcast for like 30 to 40 minutes or whatever twice a week. So hey, maybe I'm wrong. Listen to us.
I mean,
Please.
it is automated too, so it's not like they're really doing anything. But I
Yeah, I
wonder
just
what
don't know
automated
how
would
much it'll
be.
be
Is
used.
that just trailers back to back to back to back, 30 minutes in between with like some little like scene in between that says up next, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And on top of that, I don't know if it's going to be more based on what you generally would be looking at, or is it just going to be
like
everybody gets the same video, or
I
if
would
it's going to use
assume
your
it's just
interactive recommender to kind of make this? It's
I would assume
interesting.
it's just generalized.
Well, but if
Yeah.
that's the case, why not just have somebody do this every day instead
But
of focusing on the
like a
automatic show?
community manager.
Right, you know?
Yeah.
Like the people that are
Yeah.
hired to do these jobs. And
I shouldn't have played down the interactive recommender either, because I mean, right now, basically, you know what you said, basically, it just looks at the tags and the genre of games that you play and goes, okay, here, let's throw these at them.
right.
You know, this one would
Lots
be,
of
like you said,
hentai.
more playtime.
Tons
It
of
would
hentai.
be, oh God, it would be more like playtime. It would be, I mean, collectively other users within the system, you know, hey, this game has a lot of concurrent users right now, you play during peak hours of this, and it's just much more refined, I guess,
Right.
data points that it uses. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I hope that they do stuff that's a little bit more like, I mean, I don't, not useful, because I guess these are useful to people, right?
A
But
little more like drastic, I would say, or
well,
something kind
just
of
like
more
show like different
exciting.
fucking UI, show a different layout, show, I mean,
Yeah.
it needs to be refreshed.
Their
I mean,
UI is dated
the
extremely.
the Epic Game Store, you know, for everything that everyone shits on, I mean, it is pretty looking in my
It
mind.
looks nice, yeah.
I
It's
mean,
slow as shit, but I mean, it
right,
looks nice.
right. But I mean, I want Steam to do more stuff like that, and maybe I don't know. I mean, it's just I feel like people don't really give a shit that much about the store.
No. No, it's all a portal to get to your games. I mean, that's all it is.
You
It's
know, and then chat. Most people are using Discord now for chat. Like, it's not. There's not. They're not.
yeah.
It's. I mean, I just think that if I was them and I wanted to show new features, it's like, hey, cool. Now you can, you know, hit this and this key, and you'll pop up this feature within Steam while you're playing your game. Hey, you can do this.
Right.
You know, on
Start
the store
integrating,
now.
you know, a good chat system or something like that into Steam so you don't have to use another third party. Yeah, there's a lot of things that they could do to improve. And I think these are great and all, but I think these are definitely very small scale, and I'd like to see them do something a little bit bigger to help improve Steam. I mean, I open Steam like once a week, probably. Most of the time, I already have the games that I want downloaded or whatever, and I'm just going to play the same games most of the time. But so I at least on PC, but it's just kind of, yeah, like you said, you know, when you do go to the store, it would be nice to have something better to look at and a little more streamlined.
Right.
So
Cool. All right, man. The big piece of news.
the big piece of news, the Nintendo Switch Lite, which I would like to start this out by saying we were fucking right.
Yeah, we were.
So Nintendo announced their newest addition to the Switch line this week, and it is called the Switch Lite. The console will be handheld only, and you cannot play it in tabletop mode, which I found that one kind of interesting. I figured you'd at least be able to do that, but no, solely handheld, and it will only play games that support handheld for obvious reasons. There will not be detachable Joy-Cons. The built-in Joy-Cons have a D-pad on the left side. They do not have HD rumble or an IR sensor. They do not have an NFC, they do have an NFC reader for Amiibos, and they do have gyro motion sensor.
Get that Amiibo money.
Yeah, more Amiibo money. There will be no adaptive brightness sensor, but it can be adjusted manually. It is a slightly smaller design. It sits at about 3.6 inches tall, 6.2 inches long and about 0.55 inches thick. The original Switch was 4 inches tall, 9.4 inches long, and the same thickness, the 0.55 inches. And yes, I'm using inches instead of the metric system. Sorry. Freedom units.
It's fine. Dude, back in Canada,
it's a mix match, isn't it?
Yes, it's an absolute clusterfuck. People will be like, "How tall are you?" Well, I'm not 162 centimeters. I'm 6'3" or 6'2". I mean, people use feet and inches all the time back home.
It will weigh about 0.61 pounds versus the 0.88 pounds of the original Switch with the Joy-Cons attached. The screen size, you do lose a little bit here. It goes to a 5.5 inch touchscreen with a 720p resolution. The original Switch actually had a 6.2 touchscreen with 720 resolution. It does have a slightly improved battery life of 3 to 7 hours versus the 2.5 to 6.5 hours on the regular Switch.
What range is that? Could you imagine in life someone says to you, "Hey,
4
how
hour
long
difference.
are you going to work today?" Well, it's either going to be a 2-hour day or I'm going to be doing a full 9.
Yeah.
Don't know yet.
We'll see. It will be $100 cheaper at $199 versus the $299. It will release September 20th, 2019. The 3 colors that will be out during the release is yellow, gray, and turquoise. A Pokemon Sword and Shield edition, which it's actually called the same name as the legendaries, but I don't know how the fuck to say those names, so I just called it the Pokemon and Shield edition. It will launch on November 8th. It has a grayish white body with cyan buttons on the left and magenta buttons on the right with illustrations of the 2 legendaries on the back. I cannot talk tonight. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Cayenne is a spice.
Yeah, I didn't say cayenne. I said cyan the first time, but I tripped over my fucking tongue. It is confirmed that you can transfer games between the Switch and Switch Lite, especially if you have the Nintendo Online service where you can you can back up your saves onto the cloud. So will be nice for those of you that just want to take it mobile. I don't know why I want this, but I want it.
Well, it's because it's going to sell like fucking hotcakes because everyone plays their Switch handheld.
Yeah, it's weird because I do see like a 50-50 in forums and things like that of people saying they play it handheld or they play it docked, but I pretty much strictly play mine handheld. So this is perfect. And for all the times that I would like to play it, but my kids are hogging the Switch, that sucks. And this is awesome. I just really honestly kind of like the design of it. It is.
Yeah, the colors are great.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was this when they first launched the original one?
Right. We still have just the black Switch for the most part. I mean, a little variation in Joy-Cons, but everything else is just plain and boring. So yeah, this would be awesome. I mean, we pretty much called it spot on for everything.
Hell yeah, we did.
Like, you're fucking right, we did. Spot on. And I think it's honestly a smart move. I really do. Not just because that was what we thought it would be, but I really do think this is the right way to go with it. It would have been nice to see it a little bit cheaper, but I understand why it isn't.
I think that's a pretty decent
I think
price.
It's fair. I really do. I mean, obviously.
Is it the same storage on the inside of it as well?
I would assume so, yeah. I couldn't find anything on storage. I did look for that. But yeah, I think I personally would have liked to see it just a little bit lower just for me because I'm going to have a hard time double dipping on this, but
like what, like a 150 or 179 or something
yeah,
like that,
just to make it a little sweeter. Because once you say 200, the wife gets a little more angry than 150 or 175.
She's listening to this right now. She's like,
"Oh yeah, yeah, nope, he's right." But I think it's a good price point, and I think what it brings to the table is awesome, especially because, like you said, a lot of people just play handheld. Yeah, and I think that is kind of the beauty of the system, being able to do both. Now we just need a fucking box that just plays the game straight to the TV, and then we need an XL edition, and everything we said is spot on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I fully expect we'll get the box that just plays on the TV.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, if you're gonna go one way, you might as well please the other half of the audience that likes to just play on TV.
I mean that might be like the last thing they do.
Yeah, just a last ditch. Take
but
the guts out of a fucking Switch and throw it in a box and sell it for anybody who wants to play Breath of the Wild and
or an
hasn't yet.
all digital version.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Of the with the box or whatever. Yeah. Well, this is cool. I mean, this is great seeing what they're. I mean, not that it's the lower end one,
right?
But you're not really missing out too much. I mean, you're missing more just some functionality rather than actual. It's not like the screen is worse. The screen is just a little bit smaller,
right?
And it'll probably actually look better because it's a little bit smaller and still the same resolution as the other screen.
The screen is, and it's only just over half of a inch smaller, so it's not like it's a drastic difference on the screen size.
Well, I'll tell you too, the screen might end up looking better than what it is on the other Switch, depending on who's making it, because this is a smaller screen, so they're going to have to a totally different manufactured screen. Yeah, and I mean, if they use like a Samsung instead of LG or whatever is inside of the other one, you never know. I mean, it can make a world of difference.
And it got rid of the bezels, which is fantastic.
I know.
It looks so much cleaner. I love it. I think they did a great job. And honestly, I was surprised that I actually really like the Pokemon edition. Like a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I like the turquoise.
Yeah, the turquoise is pretty sharp. The yellow is kind of an odd colored yellow. I will say that, but it looks like nice. It's like a pastel yellow.
Well, I thought it looked like what's that fucking thing that everyone had a boner for like a week? The new console, not the new handheld thing that has the crank on the side of it. Playdate, right?
The Playdate, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of had the two-tone-ish, weird yellowish kind of.
Yeah,
one looks like urine and one looks like watered down urine, but nonetheless, it's a good-looking color.
That was you're not selling it, Jeff. I'm gonna be honest.
I am. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to possibly get an extra half hour out of battery, depending upon what I'm using this thing for.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic.
No, this is great. But what I like also is that because this is now the lower tier, we can kind of figure out what the higher tier is going to be.
Yeah.
Right. We got the low, we got the mid
above. Yeah. I bet we're looking at $400 roughly.
Yeah. If they go for, I'm cool with like a $399, like the 400 that you're saying. Yeah. But I mean, I'm cool with that if they're going to make it out of better materials. Like if they're going to make it out of like an aluminum or whatever,
that'd be badass.
Or just a better feeling plastic.
Yeah.
Like not like
something that doesn't feel so flimsy and kind of
cheap. It's also just like obviously it doesn't have a gloss back to it, which is great. But I just hit the pop filter.
You smacked the shit out of that pop filter.
Shit, I made that pop filter.
I watched it. It was beautiful.
I mean, maybe they could do something cool that similar to like what iPhones do, or I guess what they kind of did for like the PSP Go, or the Vita actually. Sorry, not the PSP Go. The Vita where it has like a glass back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Would be interesting. Just something just a little bit nicer and like nicer feeling buttons and a nicer feeling, just a better, no fucking bezels, big screen.
I would like for the clips that hold the Joy-Cons in place to actually be metal, because they're plastic now, and I broke one of mine and it pisses me off. So it won't stay in anything.
What?
Yeah. So the clips, when you slide your Joy-Con in, right? And it clicks. That's a plastic clip that's holding that in. So if you hit it, or like I think I dropped mine by accident somehow, and it actually everything's fine other than that it broke that clip off and launched that Joy-Con, and then you can buy metal clips for them that people make. But it's just a little plastic clip that holds it in there. And so now if I put it on anything where it has to go through that slide mechanism, it won't stay. It's annoying.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I switched my Joy-Cons around, because because one of them wouldn't stay. So I've got 2 different colors.
You know what the Switch needs to be perfect now?
What?
New themes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And a better UI.
For the love of God,
and a better eShop layout.
So yeah, just the whole UI and everything that you interact with on the Switch just needs to be better. Some folders would be sweet, so you can actually organize some things on there.
Yes. Absolutely.
I want themes so bad. That's something I've wanted since I got my Switch. I'm one of those people that changes the wallpaper on my phone like at least twice a week. So not being able to change a theme on my Switch drives me insane.
From dark and light. You don't like dark and light.
And the light is only if you want to go blind.
Oh my God. Yeah. The first thing I did after I turned that thing on, I was like, I think I turned it on when it was like 8:30 at night or whatever. And I'm like,
where's the settings? Where are the settings?
I'm like, where do I turn this to dark? I'm like, here's where all the battery goes. Holy shit.
Yeah, no kidding. I will probably be able to convince my wife to pick one of these up, because anytime we go on car rides and stuff, the kids both can have their own Switch now and play their own games, and everything will be backed up to the cloud, so they'll still have their saves. It's fucking perfect. I love it. I will end up picking one of these up. I don't know if it'll be on September 20th, but I will probably be picking one of these up at some point. Maybe. Yeah. My wife will listen to this and then immediately text me and tell me, no, you're not getting one.
Oh God, man, they're going to sell so many of these. It's gonna be insane.
It's crazy for sure.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Well, a little bit of a short show for this Friday. But if you guys want to support the podcast, you can head on over to patreon.com/Diggity podcast. You can also support us by heading over to audibletrial.com/Diggity and getting yourself a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial of Audible. That again is audibletrial.com/Diggity. Get access to a ton of titles to choose from for your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player. Get your listening on. Don't get your reading on. Let a robot read to you. This is the future. audibletrial.com/Diggity. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Search for Diggity Gaming or just search for Diggity, Diggity. You'll probably find music videos, but that's okay. Search for Diggity Gaming and you'll find us. My gamer tag on Xbox One is Maple Jeff, Brody.
Mine is Luscious Brody. And on PlayStation, it is Wolverine's cousin. No spaces, caps on Wolverine and caps on cousin. Yeah.
Let's hit me with the URL. Guys, leave us a review. It helps us a ton, whether it's a comment on one of our YouTube videos or a review on our on Apple Podcasts or other podcast networks. It helps spread the word of the good word of Diggity. It also allows for more featuring of our podcast within those platforms. That's kind of how it works. I don't make the rules. That's how it goes. And until next time, guys, we'll see you for the Wednesday show. See ya.
I want to switch light.